So while we were doing our examinations and our rounds, I see this fight going on in this small enclosure. A pitbull queen had this dog, just had him pinned and was just shaking, and they're fighting. There's blood everywhere. Oh fuck. 5 more minutes, he'd be dead. I see this fight going on in this small enclosure, and the one pitbull queen who's attacked other dogs, I don't know why she wasn't alone, basically just had this dog who's 20-30% bigger than her, just had him pinned and was just shaking, and they're fighting. There's blood everywhere. So these guys just quickly reached in and yanked the one injured dog out. She got a hold of him here. Did a whole lot of damage, but it's still bleeding, but it's slowed down. He's sedated now, and he's got some pain meds on board. Nothing to stitch up, but the damage underneath the skin's going to be pretty extensive. So we'll have to isolate the dog for a few days, at least, and a lot of medication, vitamin K to help slow the bleeding, antibiotics and pain medication and anti-inflammatories. They basically have to avoid fluid and like a hematoma, a blood, kind of like a giant blood blister building up under the skin. That's usually what happens when you get these types of attacks. But 5 more minutes. If I hadn't noticed them fighting, 5 more minutes and this big dog would be dead, no doubt. Some meloxicam here too for the swelling. We've got some already drawn up. They've already got some in a syringe, injectable meloxicam ready. Sleepy, sleepy. Climbed and up and over.
Oh, that was the dog. No. Melody and I were outside filming, and we saw a dog that was up there.
Yeah, the pitbull is here.
Yeah, and we were just like, oh, and when we came around, the dog was gone, so we were like, oh, we just assumed he had, like, kind of, like, gone back in or something. Yeah, we were out here, but I think that the dog was like, no, like on the cage here. So do you see the door, like the cage door?
Yeah, where it's bent.
So he was right under the roof.
Gotcha.
And he was like, just like hanging there, and Melody was like, oh, that's, you know.
Odd. So they call this girl the queen.
Maybe it was this one, I don't know.
Well, she starts here. She somehow found a way up over the cage door and up onto the roof, and then basically eventually dropped down and attacked this bulldog mix that we just treated. So Salim, our little red dog with the acid burn on the face, about 3 nights ago came to Degla Vet Plus. Dr. Hassan and Dr. Mohammed were able to help us out and allow us to use their very nice and modern facility. It was a nice change. We did some pretty major surgery. It was a lot harder than we anticipated. Salim had been bitten under the neck. It got infected. The skin was necrosing and dying off. We unfortunately had to remove a large flap of skin, the entire ear, bring that skin forward, and then do this fancy kind of advancement rotational flap using the skin on the top of the head to bring down and cover the eye socket, which no longer contained the eye. We had to remove the eye as well. It was hard. It took us 90 minutes. Celine did very well. Emily monitored anesthetic and kept him comfortable for a very, very long time. And then we left, and we left him in the capable hands of the team here at Degla. But apparently there's a home already waiting for him in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, in the United Kingdom.
That's so nice.
So, you know, once the hair grows back, he'll be quite handsome. He has a Joker smile though, eh? You know Joker?
Yeah, sure.
He's got the Joker smile going. So he always looks like he's happy. But this is excellent news. So we've now just checked up on Salim, and while there's definitely some infection still, unfortunately he's been diagnosed with the Ehrlichia infection, which is a bloodborne parasite from ticks that causes extra bleeding. They've put him on doxycycline, the antibiotic, to kill that infection. That's going to take about a month, but he is doing great. He is eating on his own, he's putting on weight, his bowel movements are fine, he's getting up to urinate, he's drinking fine. We'll have some follow-up photos of him once he goes to his forever home. It's very exciting.
Tell me all your secrets. Fill me in on your wildest moments. Color trees, your